street names to pop up here to give you a better look as to what we're talking about. Highway 603, excuse me, and then we're talking about, let's see what road this is, Morrison Road possibly up next as we continue to track the storm out. Inglewood, Richmond, Loomis, you're likely in the path of this storm right now. The rotation is likely just south of you as we are speaking. You're near the Tallulah city limits, still want to be in your safe place. Even if you're in Coleman or Mound, you're not necessarily in that warning, but that rotation is coming awfully close to you. So definitely go ahead and take precautions now as that storm continues to rotate just towards your north. Also, Thomastown, you'll likely be up next. Barnes, Fortune Folk, go ahead and get in your safe place now as this tornado warning is beginning to approach your area. And once again, this is a confirmed tornado warning. Marcus is here now. So Marcus, what do you have to update us on?
Well, I just wanted to go back to the tornado warning that we are dealing with. Again, we've been watching for the threat of severe weather all day, and we've been telling you all week that there was a chance for storms to develop. And it was really just within the last day or so that tornado threat increased across our region, and now we're seeing what we're dealing with now. So again, we have this tornado warning. It does cover the city of Tallulah. So if you are in Tallulah, as Abby mentioned, this is your time to be in the most interior part of your home, away from windows, away from doors. Put as many walls between you and the outside world as this dangerous storm is moving nearby. Now, this warning still stays with us at least through 8:45 p.m. So we still have another 40 minutes or so of this warning that's out there. So you'll need to hunker down more or less for 40 minutes if you're located across central portions of Madison Parish. On top of that, if you have any family or friends that would typically be traveling, let's say from Vicksburg to Rayville at this time along Interstate 20, you want to give them a heads up and tell them to find a safe place to go, not to drive down Interstate 20 right now, because we have this dangerous storm that is currently moving across the interstate. So again, this is the threat that we're dealing with. We're potentially dealing with some hail with this storm as well. And again, we're tracking it moving to the east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So when we take a look at some of the locations downstream and what areas could be impacted, I know Abby mentioned Barnes. We're talking about Barnes potentially if it holds together by the time we get to 8:14, Ashley by the time we get to 8:18, and then eventually Peeler by the time we get to 8:27. So if you're anywhere across eastern and northeastern portions of Madison Parish, this is your time to stay as safe as possible. This is not the time to go outside and try to see if you can see the storm. We need you inside and as protected as possible. Now, I do want to put the map into motion to show you what else is going on. We'll actually pause it right here. We're still dealing with this secondary line that's making its way through eastern portions of Texas. We will be watching for that as we head through the later part of the evening, and that could potentially lead to additional severe weather across our viewing area. And as we put the map into motion, we've been dealing with rain showers and thunderstorms, some of which have been severe for the last few hours. Now, this first wave is quickly pushing off into Mississippi, but again, we still have that tornado warning out there. But we're still tracking some heavier rain showers and thunderstorms moving out of Ouachita Parish and into southern Morehouse Parish, as well as western portions of West Carroll Parish and Richland Parish at this hour. So even the areas dealing with this tornado warning, you're dealing with that threat for sure. But we're talking about areas back to the west that are still dealing with some fairly potent storms. And so we'll be watching for that. And again, we're noticing more activity developing across eastern Texas, and a lot of that will continue to push east. This is a look at the tornado watch that is with us at least for the next few hours. It covers the entire viewing area. And again, we're seeing that we're dealing with at least one tornado warning out there. I do want to talk about the SPC outlook. It still has us under a slight risk for today. And as we talk about how things will progress, this is a look potentially at 11 p.m. We still could be dealing with the line of intense weather pushing through. So again, we're dealing with this tornado warning now, and we're dealing with additional threats as we head throughout the evening. I want to send it back to Abby to see if she can give us a little more information about that tornado warning that we still have in place.
Yes, Marcus, that's right. We still do have that tornado warning active for at least another about 40 minutes or so just south of Tallulah. Here's a look. I do want to show you what's going on with the rotation. It is broadening out a little bit. I am beginning to notice as it moves a little bit further eastward. Right now it's on top of Highway 65. So if you are located in the Highway 65 area, especially if you're in Barnes coming up next, you'll definitely want to be in your safe place. Even if you're in the city of Tallulah, still be in your safe place. That rotation is just south of your city, but still you want to be careful and have your guard up, as this is a confirmed tornado now pushing towards the east at 35 miles per hour. The rotation is where these reds and greens are coming together just south of Tallulah near Highway 65, moving a little bit closer to Louisiana Highway 602 at this point. And here's a look at it on Doppler radar. We can see that rotation beginning to spin right there as it's beginning to hook just south of Tallulah. Even if you're in the city of Tallulah, you're south of that rotation, you're still dealing with some heavier downpours, and it's still a fairly potent storm, so definitely be indoors. I did want to show you that we still are going to track out those strong storms throughout the rest of the night. Like Marcus was mentioning earlier, we do have a tornado watch active for until 3 a.m. for the entire arc limits, so be on guard. If you are in this tornado warning now, you could be impacted later on tonight. I'll turn things back over to Marcus. Marcus, what do you have to update us on?
Well, I want to talk a little bit more about some of the winds that we're dealing with this tornado warning storm. This is just one point within that storm. We're looking at gate-to-gate shear that has ranged anywhere from 40 to about 70 miles per hour. When we talk about gate-to-gate shear, you see these little boxes of color. Basically, if we have rapidly changing winds right next to each other, that gate-to-gate shear number would be higher, potentially closer to 80 or 90 miles per hour, or even higher than that. And we've seen gate-to-gate shear at least above 70 miles per hour with this general rotation that's going on. So as we look at the broad rotation that's there, again, we see it now just south and east of Tallulah, but we're looking at potentially the strongest winds moving right over Interstate 20 right now. And as we continue to track this system pushing east, again, we're looking at it, again, eventually moving into northeastern portions of Madison Parish and eventually, if it holds together, into Mississippi. This is a look at the latest storm track again over the last few minutes. We are looking at places downstream like Barnes within the next few minutes, feeling the impacts of this storm system. We're also seeing that toward Ashley and Peeler. And again, the threat stays with us. At least this warning will stay with us at least through about 8:45 p.m. So we have another 30 minutes or so. Now, if the storm looks to continue weakening, that'll be a sign that things are improving for us. But as of now, we still have this warning out there. And again, according to the National Weather Service out of Jackson, Mississippi, this storm has been confirmed with a tornado. So this is something we don't want to see, but it's unfortunately what we're dealing with. So again, as we talk about things, and fortunately, that tornado warning has just been canceled. So good news there. Good news there as we talk about this storm threat. We still have some strong winds with this storm, so we do want you to keep your guard up. But fortunately, that tornado warning has expired. I do want to show you just a couple more things before we send you back to your regular programming. But as we talk about what's on the way, we still have this secondary line off to the west. It is producing some severe storms just north of Interstate 20 in Texas. And so we will continue to monitor that. We'll also monitor some of the storms that are moving into Richland Parish and also across parts of Morehouse, West Carroll, and East Carroll parishes. All right, well, thanks again for being patient with us. Hopefully you stay safe during this tornado warning, and we will be back on air if we get additional tornado warnings across the arc limits. But for now, we will send you back to your regular programming.
This has been a KNOE 8 News Severe Weather Alert.